How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Positive Hour with Travis and Baranit.
How's it?
Today's topic is about BS media and on things will never change. This came from one of my friends that gave me a topic to try to cover on, and he was, let's see, try to make that positive. And then we actually did a video. We got censored because we said some stuff in there that is against protocol guidelines. But today we figured out other ways to kind of maybe go about it, and look at the BS media and things will never change in a positive aspect, without using the analogies we was using on the other cast that we had. But to cover it, like, things will never change. It's pretty much the same thing. Like how people say, the ocean is, if I don't take the fish, he gonna take the fish. That mentality is why things would possibly not change. But if we start making our mindset change on why things don't change, that would be the thing. Starting with one piece, for instance, like when my kids take shower, they like to try just stay there forever. And I tell them, bro, stop wasting water. Our water system is already contaminated with fuel. We don't got water to be wasting. Things like that. Just setting those little examples, especially from when they're young. And if you take it when you're older, as it's serious, that's where you can start making the changes, and you just kind of got to look at things and how they are, and look at what you can do and just educate people on what it is. Like, the best analogy I remember when we were little was, if you had a refrigerator and it was packed with food, like just loaded with food, and you never went to the store, but you just kept taking. You kept taking whatever, if it was an ice cream bar or soda can, but you never replenish it. What happens to the refrigerator?
Get empty.
Gone. Same thing gonna happen with if we don't make changes. Yeah, like if you, for instance, we keep drilling for oil. What you think? The world just get endless amounts of oil? No way. We have to be smart about it. There should, like, if I was a scientist or some stuff, I would try to be figuring out ways to recycle old oil. And then bingo, you would have a super lucrative business. Especially you patent it or you're the one that has all the technology for it. I guarantee you, with everything they can do nowadays, I'm pretty damn sure they could recycle oil. Or there's an alternative to raw crude oil, like using like probably some kind of like vegetable oil or something. I'm pretty damn sure it might not be as such a good quality compared to like the oil we put in our car, but I find it very hard to believe. I'm no chemist, but I believe that there's other routes, and I believe that there's probably even somebody out there that does have it, and they just didn't let it go yet because they don't need it and they don't want it to be a cheaper alternative and they lose money, or the other one I was just talking about was this morning about what the hell was it? I just had it in my head. Brain fart right there. Oh my God. It was about how the lights changed, like from technology, like from back in the days when you had only like incandescents. That's the old school screw in light bulbs for you new people that had that little filament across, or they had neon lights, and then they had fluorescent lights, and then they went to CFLs, the next cost savings thing, and then they finally went into like LEDs. Well, and then they had other stuff that most of you wouldn't know unless you're electricians, like high pressure sodium or metal halides or the NOS bulbs, but they were filled with gas, and everything, how it just changed in time. Think about it. Remember when we were young? Go change the bulb.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have to unscrew them, screw in a new one. Now, no more even bulbs, really. It's just a little square about that tiny. Blasts.
To illuminate plenty.
Yeah, bro. What you think, Nate, about all that stuff? How things don't change, but I can see change, but I think they just hold out the change. What you think?
I think things don't change because people don't change. That's the comment right there. things gonna change if people decide to change. Like talking about like litter, pollution in our world. If 1% every day pick up a piece of rubbish, so that was that 4.6 billion people or whatever the planet was. If 1% every day picked up just one piece of rubbish, that's what 8.4 billion pieces of rubbish that got picked up and put in the right place in a recyclable or whatever. Things like that, small changes. Some people, they don't adapt well with big change, but you can do small changes. Like cleaning up your area. Helping your kids and teaching them good traits of change. Like respecting others. Respecting people's property. Listening to your elders. Stuff like that. Learning respect, so when they go on the workforce, let that they don't get fired. They know how to conduct themselves in a productive way, in society. Changes like that in yourself. And it comes from the parent, it comes from the leader, it comes from the head of the household. It's up to you, head of the household, to change so you can pass those good things along to your kids. Don't be quiet about it. Talk to your children, talk to your family, talk to your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your wives, or whatever. Talk to them. Talk to them. If you know that there's a good idea that you did that is gonna be beneficial, share it. So what? Nobody listen. You can tell 100 people in the world, but you get one. That 1%, he's gonna impact somebody else. Depending on how you are or your personality, you may not influence thousands of people, but you might reach that one who can influence thousands of people. So it's a platform where you keep trying to change, and not take the broad spectrum of things will never change. You know that already. Some things never gonna change, but erase that from your mind and walk with a positive mindset of things can change. And be that light. That shines for positivity and for change, and not get waned from it. Being around, like I said, it's all important. It's who you're around that will encourage you to be that way. If you're around people who don't want to change or shoots down your idea, then find people who will. Don't give up. Don't give up in the change. Persevere. Not everybody's meant to change. Not everybody's meant for change, but the ones that are out there who are, you keep pushing for the change. It's all, to me, it all defines what you want to do, what is important for you, what do you want to change. And in that area where you want to change, work at it. With the media going on today, they always want to, show negative stuff. Things, or things of killing and stuff like that, which is important. But let's talk about the most important part, the change for peace. That's the most important part. Not the fact that you go and show negativity all the time and fearmonger people into doing things or saying things or picking a side, Talk about peace. Talk about, reconciling, Talk about problem solving instead of problems, and being not persuaded by negativity and false things. What do you think, Trav?
No, I definitely agree. I liked everything you said about that part. How you said, be the light. Like if everybody just took a different mindset to it, just by a little. I know people have a lot of things. I'm not dealing with all their things in their life, but if you just made those just a little change, like we were talking from just the last podcast, right? One more rep, one more step, one less bite, or 3 more sips of water, whatever it is to make your life better. The change ain't going to happen overnight. Problems is humans like to see immediate change as fast as possible. Like you think you're going to go run 3 miles and you're going to have bricks the next day. Some people, they have to realize it takes time. Just like how we screw our bodies up, it didn't just happen in one day. It didn't happen in 1 year. It happened over years. Diabetes just doesn't pop up on this unless it's, you have some kind of like, unfortunate like a type 1 I think diabetes that it just pops out of nowhere. But I mean that's like the really rare cases, but most people that get like type 2 or whatever, or most of the people that are getting that kind of stuff, typically we do it to ourselves. The stuff we're eating. Hell, we just look at it. McDonald's, any of those fast foods is all sugary stuff. Subway is not a healthy place, people. Let's just make sure we get that straight. If you do a caloric deficit, meaning like if you just eat vegetable sandwich, 1 foot long vegetable sandwich in one day and that's all you eat, yes, you're going to lose weight. But what you're still putting in you is not the greatest things. Like, yes, the vegetables, okay, but that bread is pretty gnarly, Like, people just got to remember that. Things take time. It takes 3 months, 6 months, years. It's just like if you have a hobby and you're really good at it or something you really do. Like playing music, for instance. It didn't happen just in months that, I could play all what I'm playing now. It took years and years and hours and hours. If you look at things that you're good at doing and just think about it. You don't think about how much time you put in because it's something you like to do, right? But if you used to think about like other things that you don't like to do, but you got to do it so that you can make a change, that's where it happens. Like, was it Mike Tyson saying, it's not about doing things you like to do. It's about doing things you hate to do, but loving to do it. If you can change your mindset to that part, which is super hard. I'm not saying I can do it on the wide, but if it's something there, it's going to work. David Goggins. I hate running. That's the thing I hate the most, but I do it first because I just want to get it over with. All those kind of things. Like if you listen to those people that are driven and making changes in their life, they all did it starting from step 1. They never went to another step. They was like, nope, gotta go 1 foot in front of the other. Right? Like you gotta crawl before you can walk, You gotta walk before you can run. Just look at babies. None of them ever just came out popping and just started running. We ain't no deer or cow or any of those animals that just come out ready to rock and roll. And even then, they still take time. Like, yes, it's maybe hours for them before they can start walking and running. But still, it takes time. Everything takes time. And if you're going to compete against people that are in a different age bracket, different weight bracket, or even different mental state and their determination, that's going to just change everything. But starting with you just make the determination yourself. Like, okay, well, he did it in 6 months. Well, if I do it in 7 months, at least you still did it. Like, I don't know. I just see how people do that, and they just kind of, it's like they just give up. Like, look at New Year's, the gym. How many people sign up? New Year's resolution. I'm going to be dieting and I'm going to work out. Right? That's what they always, that's one, like, I think that's like the number one thing that is a New Year's resolution. Mine is, I like to start it before that. If you can diet and do all that stuff at Thanksgiving and carry it on forward, you're going to diet fine because you have all that temptation that's there. That's my mentality. Like, I look at it that way. If I can diet through the holiday times where there's just all the good stuff, you should be perfectly fine when it comes down after the new year. So that's just my mentality. That's just how I look at it. And then some people, if you continue that good habit, then it just becomes a trend. Or think about it. If we went back 20 years in time and you just changed the way that you ate, or, you know what I mean? That's when we were in our 20s. We graduated, right? So we had our own stuff. But if we changed the way we ate and we knew what we knew now, and you established a routine, don't you think your health probably would have been different? What do you think, Nate?
No, for those out there, like, we use terms like Goggins, and some people get different mindsets. Some people are stronger where they can really buckle down and fight for that goal. For me, I concentrate on the small changes. Like diet, right? Instead of eating 2 scoops of rice for dinner, try only 1 or 1/2 even for now, for 2 months. And then later on, your stomach going to shrink, and then try only 1 scoop, right? Right? Like to lift weights, or your body sore, start to get up early in the morning. Get the blood flowing quickly. Walk maybe 1 time around your house, rest. Every day you change slowly. If some people cannot change fast, some people be like, I don't more time. Always get time for change slowly. It's small things that benefit you a lot in your health. We all know sugars is not good, causes diabetes and stuff like that. Watching your intake on sugar, consuming more water to make you full. I tried this last night, chewing your food 30 times every time before you swallow. I ate less, people. I was tripping out, like, because I heard something on, I was reading on the diet stuff. If you chew your food 30 times, it activates your saliva and it activates the digestive system and makes your mouth sore. So you're not gonna eat. You're not gonna eat as much.
TMJ.
And that's true. That's true. I only had a bowl of salad last night for dinner, and it was enough for me. Things like that. You research and you do things to better your health. Like I said, find a common goal that makes you happy, that wakes you up in the morning. Find something that motivates you to get to that place where you want to go at and make those changes. For me, like, I like to eat. So I had to change my consumption. I gotta go slow because I like to eat fried foods. I like to eat rice. I love rice. You give me any given day, I can eat 6 cups of rice in 1 or 2 sittings maybe. That's how I was raised, because rice is cheaper than the meats and stuff. So I was raised eating choke rice and a little bit meat to stretch it. But now I cannot do that because I don't get diabetes. I don't get obese. The meat is actually healthier for you to eat that in high moderations instead of the rice. True. So, but I can't afford that. So what do? I consume it. I consume less, and then I drink a lot of water. Water is free and water is at hand. So I found out that if I fill my stomach with water, so throughout the day I zip water. I don't get hungry. But as I'm drinking water, I'm cleansing out my body. I'm cleansing out my liver, cleansing out my kidneys, cleansing out my spleen and everything and my pancreas. I'm doing all these things to let all my organs recuperate and hydrating them with no nutrients, which is water doesn't give anything, but it cleanses. It pushes out all cholesterol and all kinds of nasty things in your body. Cleans out your pores when you're sweating. If you ever drink water, if you try to notice this, for me, like when I drink a lot of water and I sweat, it's just like water coming out. There's no flavor. There's no bitterness. There's no saltiness.
That's true.
That means I'm doing a good job. I'm cleansing myself and I'm consuming water. And then what happens too, like, per my dietitian I was talking to, when you eat less and drink a lot of water, your stomach shrinks so that you don't have to eat. Because we have to think like our forefathers back in the day, or our ancestors, they ate like what, once a week maybe? Lucky, whatever they could catch and hunt and forage. Sometimes they didn't eat at all for a while, but they survived. So it's like things like that. Aren't you tired of waking up with sore, aching joints? Aren't you tired waking up sluggish? Aren't you tired waking up with bowel problems because you cannot use the bathroom because you're constipated, or aren't you tired of getting pain on the side of your body, and feeling sick and pukey all the time and headaches and stuff and all the time? Your diet is a very important part of that. I know. Like for instance, for me, like, I had cirrhosis of my liver because I had a really fatty liver, and I couldn't take medication. It wasn't working because what happens is, like, your medication goes to your liver and it disperses to your body to help you to get better. But if it's fatty, it can't go anywhere. So it goes into your sweat glands and you just sweat it out.
I didn't know that.
So I was getting sick and stuff like that. So, but I noticed, this is just for me now, not giving no doctor advice. This is just for me. This is what I did. I didn't eat any carbs for 2 months. 2 months, and I drank water and I ate clean, and man, I felt great. My digestive system was good. My bowel situation was good. Taking medication, it actually works. I sleep. I feel rested. Every time, like, if I hurt something, it healed faster. Things like that, you make simple changes, and then later on you can gradually back into your carbs and stuff like that, whatever you want to do. But whatever is ailing you physically, you can do it. You can change how the outcome is. It's what you want to do with what you want to change, and what approaches you take. What do you think, Trev?
Oh no, definite. That was some education part too. I never know that when you took that stuff, it came out your pores instead. But like how Nate said though, eating clean does work, and then if you can cut out carbs, go to like complex carbohydrates like sweet potatoes, or you can even do ancient grains. That's like your oatmeals, quinoa, those kind of things. I know they don't taste the greatest all the time, but if you were to just be like, hey, I can at least eat this and enjoy it with meat, for instance, or whatever, at least you get to enjoy that now compared to 10, 12 years from now, 20 years from now. Then you can't eat any of it because everything is just bust up. Think about it. If you have like high blood pressure, for instance, you got to watch sodium, you got to make sure you watch your intake of red meats because that's cholesterol, which affects your blood pressure. I mean, there's just so many things. If you're eating so much stuff and you have high blood pressure and diabetes, those usually go hand in hand. Then now you can't eat carbs, can't eat candies.
Yeah,
I got to take shots. Like, I got to take these pills. You want to, you want to kind of like, yes, you want to enjoy life, but man, and it's hard.
No, but right, you don't want to overconsume it where your body won't even take it anymore. It's gonna kill you. Do everything in moderation.
And it's hard. I'm guilty. Like
hard.
you give me M&Ms and I could eat it. I don't just gonna eat one bag. I gonna
too.
pound them.
Me too.
Like there's no play around. Or ice cream. It's not just I'm gonna have only one scoop. Bullshit. Yeah, right. It's gonna be like 3-4 scoops. Yeah, now I'm good, and maybe I go back for seconds.
Eat the whole pint already.
Yep. I'll pound the pint, guarantee. But like getting into moderation for me is not good for me. I know that. So mine is I just don't want to touch it, because if I touch it, I will pound it. But if I don't touch it, and even though I'm looking at it going, oh, this thing looks really, really good right now, and I just don't do it, and I just don't eat it, or I drink water, or I eat something else instead of apple, and I just go about my way, I'm fine. And my family hereditarily has all of that, high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. One half, and the other half only has like one thing. But regardless, it's there. And when we were young, there was no education about these kind of things. There's none. Like, I wish that schools taught this kind of things to us, Then you would have change. There would be change. If you were taught something like this is how it really is when we were younger, you would definitely have change. The problem is society doesn't want change. Like, I seen this thing. There is a change coming in Texas that they're doing, which is pretty killer. They have school for 8 hours, in a day. And what they do is no, but that's not the change. The change is the first 2 hours is taught by AI. Okay, that part I don't really care for, but it's whatever. The next 6 hours is life lessons, and they do things that they have to do in life. I like that. Like, so they'll build stuff, or they'll learn how to do clothes, or cook food in elementary kind of deal now.
No, yeah.
And it goes all the way to high school. But imagine that. 2 hours of education, 6 hours of real life. I definitely agree with that. Elon Musk was the one that was changing it. Remember, he made his own school to do it. And, you can learn your thing. He's like, I think you need to learn English. You need to learn history. I think you need to learn math. That's a super 3 important things, because you're going to need it all. You need to know how much to count for when you're buying stuff or paying things, budgeting, writing, reading. History is to know what happened, so you don't try to repeat history, which we are doing all the time.
I think it would be a good thing to add in as an elective in schools.
What is that?
Electrical and plumbing. Because even if you're not an electrical or plumber, imagine if you coming out of high school with basic skills. If you at least you can do your own house or you know what to do, you know, like nowadays, getting hard time find trade people.
True.
The kids don't like do them nowadays. You know what I
True.
mean, bro? So
Yep.
like it's like I think they should teach that in schools or offer it as an elective. Man, I wish I had that when I was in school. Definitely would have joined the plumbing and electrical earlier. At least I know how to make an outlet or change a breaker and stuff like that. Things like that, you know. So it's like I think, you know, that will be important. You're talking about schools and stuff. I like that regimen, you know. That would be a good change too.
Yeah.
Join a trade or so, like as an elective for
Carpentry
or anything too. Or we have auto mechanics.
Yeah.
You know, we have agriculture. Throw something like electrical or plumbing, you know, basic kind. You know, you don't need to go all in depth and where you gotta, you know, there's like, don't get me wrong, you gotta go schooling for electrical and plumbing, but you know, for your house or things like that to, you know, to like
Basics.
change your outlets or your appliance or stuff like that. Basic stuff will be good to learn, you know, and you know, things like that. You know, another thing I wanted to share with you, like on what you were saying, you know, about changing. That the problem with, I think, the human race is we like to have things fast, but you don't learn if it comes to you fast.
Correct.
You get it done fast and then you forget about it. But if you have to work at it, it becomes knowledge. That way, every single time you come up against whatever situation that you have to have patience to learn, you have the answer, and you know it works. So sometimes I believe, you know, God puts us through trials and tribulations so that we can, and it takes a long time because we have to learn so we don't never do it again. If it ends up fast and it comes very fast, you're not gonna learn because you're gonna forget what you did.
There was no pain.
There's no pain or suffering. You know, so you have to go through it to learn it and learn the process. You know, think about it, right? You either sit at home and die of obesity or diabetes or whatever causing you to be sick all the time, or you make a slight change, like drinking an extra glass of water or adding a fruit here and there.
Instead of a candy.
Yeah, or a candy bar or slimming your portion. Not so see, like I said, if you're a 6 scoop rice person, try 5. Something small that will help you get through. And see, here's the thing, right? You know, I used to keep track of my small accomplishments when I was doing, and when I did it, I was proud of myself. So I tried again, and I tried again. And when I got down, I was like, oh man, I cannot do it. I look back, hey Nate, not too long ago, you was only eating 2 cups of rice. You can do the 1. You can do the 1. And then I look at all my accolades and all my accomplishments I did, and that pushed me through. So it's another thing I encourage people to do. You know, like I did the last podcast. Take a win, right? Log down all your accomplishments.
Yep.
So you can see for yourself, oh man, I did all of this. So this next step, I can do it too. So you have a reference. People seeing is believing, right, people? Write down your accomplishments. So if you're finding out this thing that you want to change and you cannot, you can rebook and remotivate yourself, self-empower yourself to change. What do you think, Jeff?
No, definite. You know, I seen this post on Facebook from one of my friends. He had when it rains, it storms, but when that happens, it's God planting seeds. I definitely believe in that. You know, you gotta, like how you said, you're going through that hardship. It's funny you just said that part, and I was thinking that whole thing the whole time. But definitely, you know, take the bads and try to look at it. Don't be like, oh shit, I have high blood pressure now. No, I'm gonna just fold over and die. Well, the first thing I say is if you're not super super high, what I would suggest is you ask your doctor, what is it possible that I can if I'm not going to get a heart attack or stroke in this time, if I was to just change my diet and run for like 2 months or something, or 1 month first and come back, could I see if I could drop this naturally? You know, giving that shot. There's a change. People can change, and that, like I said, sometimes it, like he said, God's going to give you one bombshell for you to learn from it. You know, here's the scare, but I just letting you know that I just let you pass. And you know, that's what I think. But changes can be done, and right within this part, if you listen to what we were saying, hopefully It was something that you could walk away with and see that there is change if you just put that mindset in with those little tiny tad pieces of info, you know, just those little ones, and go with it. But that's up to people. Now, with the things will never change. If you have BS media backing things will never change, or that you're just seeing all this negativity that's coming around, in your mind, yes, things will never change. Well, here's the bearer of bad news, people. There was always war, there was always conflict, and there was always things that was going on in the world that we didn't like. The difference between nowadays and back when we were little was there was no cell phones, so the media and the government could moderate everything. If you think that they're censoring people now, imagine what they were doing back then. Oh, you're not going to air that. I don't want that aired on the stuff. You're not going to do it. You're just going to drop it. Plenty of things that go down just kind of get swept under the rug. There's a lot of things. You don't see the news really going about what happened in Maui. You don't see what happened in Australia when they had the huge fires that burnt like freaking a quarter of their rainforest or whatever it was. It's all gone. Why? They can control it. Oh, now if we stop talking about it, people kind of forget about it.
You gotta forget about the war.
Yep.
And let those people deal with their own pilikia or their troubles. You know. How about us, right? For instance, right, bro? If we get a problem, we let everybody know our business and try to solve our problems. You know, we can help them, and we can meet and say, hey, enough already. You killing too much. You blowing up too much of your land, and you get resources that the whole world need. You know, you can shoot out facts and statements saying that, you know, like, with media, from way back in the day, media is the best propaganda ever to promote anything.
Yep.
So here's my theory, here's my thinking of pick and choose what you want to listen and watch. If you want to watch conflict and devastation, of course not going to have change. But if you like watch something else like sports or the weather or people doing good, I like that kind of media. Like, the kind of stories where the guy's helping the community or Good Samaritan save somebody. Oh, I love that. I put on my volume to max when I watch the news. I love that kind of news. I like hear positivity, how people help the homeless, or how one guy went rescue this female from a robber, or what I saw was this guy went go protect this kid when a dog came attacked him.
Oh yeah.
Use his own arm like that. That's the kind of chivalry and bravery that would motivate the nation to do such things as to think of your neighbor as yourself, things like that. That's the kind of media I like, And for me, I never was a newsman, so I don't know what media is. I'm too busy trying to concentrate on my own life and taking care of my kids and trying to raise them not to make wars and not to hate people and just to help others. That's why I think it's important, bro. Like, if we can change our family and we pass that down to generations, maybe that can spread and everybody take care of each other. The barter system, right? I go fish, you give me fish, I give you salt, stuff like that, right? Yep. That's how you would work as a good unit in society, and stuff like that. So now we can go on for days about this topic. We're talking about change and media and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. Negative media is good sometimes because you gotta know also what's going on in the world. You gotta know inflation. You gotta know
people aren't good. You
gotta know there's wars, so you can help them and if whatever God you believe in, and pray for that person. Me, I believe in God, so I pray for God to help those people out there, and to give the people who go out there strength to endure and fight and give resources to the people struggling out there and stuff like that. Your mindset will determine what your outcome is, 100%. And your own personal agenda will dictate what good or bad outcome you have for change or whatever you think is the right in any topic or situation you face. That's what I feel. I had another thing I was gonna share, but I can't think about it on top of my head. I lost it. It was one good one though, but you know, like me and Travis, we here because some people might not have an outlet and to express themselves, and some people don't want human interaction talking to them, but they rather have somebody behind the cameras talking to them. So we're here to help the best we can and to give what we in our life experiences and how we feel on situations to endure and to better oneself, you know, and things like that, you know. It's important, you know. You're important as an individual, and what do you think, Trav? You know,
No, definite. What Nate's saying, the way we're trying to look at it, we're always trying to just put it as positive as we can, or we try to look at the most positive outlook for everything that's there. Like, some things you just can't be super positive on, but you just gotta like we were saying earlier, you know, when storms hits and then hurricane and it's turmoil, try not to look at it as it's just turmoil. Maybe it's God dropping seeds for something to grow that you just didn't see. And it's very hard to see. There's a lot of things hard to see. Oh, I don't understand why this happened, or I don't know why this is gonna go, or whatever. But sometimes it just comes, and you just gotta make the move from there. But like how Nate said, is all we try to do is take it, look at it, and just try to look at how we would take it and turn it as positive as we can. You know, what was a lesson learned? What should we do? You know, but with all of that, we would like to just leave it with, we try everything to make it positive, and hopefully we drop some information that could help you guys and maybe make a change. And you know, when you see the BS media stuff going on and the negativity, maybe look at it in a different outlook, maybe. Or you don't even want to watch it anymore because it's just so negative, and you just look at the good things like Nate said. But either way, hopefully some of this information helped you guys. And again, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Get it.